Welcome to the Business Blast Podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. This episode is brought to you by Authors Unite. Authors Unite provides you with the support you need to finish your book. Best part is, after you finish your book, they take care of the entire publishing and marketing process 100% for you. So, if you want to become a successful author, make sure to check out authorsunite.com. Now, let's jump into the episode. All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Business Blast Podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. Today I have Chris Tweten with us. He is a Canadian growth hacker that's taken a step away from the startup world to apply data-driven marketing and growth infrastructure to bodega, hostels, and resorts in Thailand. So welcome to the show, man.
Hey, how's it going?
Awesome, brother. Pumped to have you here. And yeah, it's pretty cool because it's like nighttime for me. It's morning for you. So let's dive into the first one, man. The first question I got for you is, what is the best story from your life that has an underlying valuable message?
For sure. Well, let's see. I moved from Canada to China after a friend offered me a co-founder position at a startup. And I never really looked back. Moving around has really helped me a ton. Where I'm from, Winnipeg, it just didn't really have an environment for me to strive. It's way too small of a city for my taste. So I hopped in from a city of like 600K up to Shanghai with 25 mil. And, your lifestyle has to change so much, like so drastically, very quickly. We tanked within a year, and that was fine. Stayed in Shanghai working. And I eventually hit a wall where I really wasn't enjoying myself. So went to Thailand for Chinese New Year, loved it, and I just moved 2 weeks later. And I guess the moral of the story is that, like, people don't often think about location as a factor in your life, but you can change locations. It's totally doable, especially if you have a degree. It's easy to, like, switch to a new country, a new city, and that can, like, really help your personal happiness.
Totally, dude. Location's so important. I know that for sure. Like, Miami's warm year round. I'm very happy. When I lived in the Northeast and it was cold half the year, I was unhappy half the year. So it's definitely a big thing.
I can relate. I mean, Winnipeg, we've hit record colds a few times.
Oh, yeah, dude. Canada is another level, man. So, yeah, I know. Holy moly. The next one I have for you, man, is, what is the most valuable piece of information we should know that's within your expertise or industry?
Right. So in the intro, you talked about, you mentioned how I've been like a growth hacker in Asia. So my one piece of information you should have is that anytime you see marketers freaking out about a platform update or a major change, that's when the biggest opportunities for organic growth are. If you see like, Facebook growth is dying, you should treat that like an opportunity. So long as you have some structure in place to test and like probe into those mechanics, then you'll be fine. For example, on Facebook, there was a time when percentage of a video watched was like the top factor in getting organic reach. So people like me started making videos that were just 7-second photo stills rather than posting photos, because then you'd have like, a 98% watch rate.
Ah, yeah, see, you're a growth hacker. I love that. That's awesome. So the next one I have for you, and wait, I'm actually just curious real quick, and you might know this or you might not, it's fine, but wasn't there some sort of like, it was like a hack with like YouTube video ads, like pre-roll ads or something? Do you know about this or no?
No, I don't really touch video too much.
Okay, no, I remember hearing like, it was like years ago, I heard something about like, somehow it was like almost free advertising if the person only saw like less than like 3 seconds or something. So I don't know. Anybody listening, don't just take this like a grain of salt, but I heard there was something like that. So
that sounds like it would have happened.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised at all.
So either way, the next one I have for you is, what is your best piece of overall business advice? So not necessarily industry specific.
Yeah, actually, this dives more into like just general personal growth, not just business. But getting into a routine is like super powerful. It's probably the best thing you can do for yourself. And as long as you hit like every area of your life in that routine, then you're good. So like, personal learning, social life, your work life. Yeah.
And if you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that be?
It's okay to embrace confidence and like confidence in yourself, but you should really think about if the moves you're making are reckless.
And kind of going a little bit down a different path. In your opinion, what is the key to happiness?
Well, for me, it's just been very self-critical of my lifestyle. So keep me in check, see what works for me, assess if I'm happy with my life, and make changes if I'm not.
And what is the best book that you've read, and what was the number one thing you learned from that?
It's called The Motivation Myth by Jeff Hayden. He really dives deep into the psychology behind motivation, explaining how it's how your brain rewards you after you complete a task rather than the other way around. Like, it's not a mechanism to get a task done in the first place. So knowing that, you can like build momentum by just like completing small tasks.
Okay. And what is your favorite quote and why?
This one's by Gary Vaynerchuk. You have to understand your personal DNA. Basically, just play around with what works for you and figure that out over time. Myself, I learned how to do Facebook marketing by making memes, and I created a structure for that because I used to play Street Fighter in tournaments, and just find what works for you.
Dude, thank you so much for coming on. The last one I have for you before I let you go is, where's the best place for people to find you online?
Yeah, you can reach me on Facebook. That's probably where you'll find me easiest. Just my name, Chris Tweten. You'll find me.
Awesome, man. Thanks again for jumping on.
Sounds good. Thanks.
The podcast you just heard was published with Anchor. Got something you want to say to the creator of this show? Send them a voice message using the Anchor app, free for iOS and Android.